I wondered if based off of his like experience of standard, if he would try. Is he okay? Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Lucilia. I am a content creator, Nintendo enthusiast. We do a lot of challenge content here, specifically a lot of Kaizo Ironmon is done here. And today we're actually going to be watching and reacting to Ludwig. He attempted to do a regular Ironmon playthrough. I believe it was like the first rule set, like the Nuzlocke difficulty. So we're gonna watch his run and just go through it and see what happened. And just talk a little bit about Ironmon. So yeah, if you're interested, I hope you continue to watch, but otherwise, let's get into the video. All right, so before we watch Ludwig, let's get a better understanding of what he's doing. So the Ironmon challenge is a challenge that was created by I Ate Your Pie. Now, standard Ironmon is where it all began. It goes up in difficulty. So obviously we have standard, which is the beginning of Ironmon. Then we have ultimate, Kaizo, super Kaizo, and survival. Now I believe Ludwig was doing standard. Standard is much more lenient than Kaizo. So there are a lot of things that are not banned in standard, and there's a lot of things available to you as a player that you don't really get to have in any other difficulty. So my understanding is like you can have held items on, you can have a party of 6, you can run like 600 BSC Pokemon like Metagross, Slacking, etc. You can feint Pokemon once per route. Ultimate gets a little bit more difficult. There's more skill expression involved in Ultimate. Once you reach Kaizo, which is the next difficulty, which at the time before Super was created was the most difficult difficulty, Kaizo Ironmon itself is very tough. So we're gonna go through Kaizo while we watch Ludwig play standard, because I'm probably just going to be drawing some comparisons in between standard and Kaizo through his run, just to show like just how different it is between the two. I think Kaizo Ironmon itself is like super fun. This isn't like a bash on Ludwig at all for doing standard. I think Ironmon is a very fun thing in general. I really hope that Ludwig like works his way up to Kaizo, because I think people would absolutely love to watch him play that. So those are all the difficulties. Basically, we got standard, we got ultimate, we got Kaizo. The newest one, which was newly created, is super. Super is actually never going to be defeated. It is insanely RNG dependent. I personally don't see anyone ever completing super unless cheating were to be involved. But yeah, anyways, let's watch Ludwig and let's see what Ludwig gets up to in his run. Alrighty, so I have skipped to through his VOD, and he had a run prior to this. It was a slacking. Now it died, unfortunately. It died a counter, which is a very Kaizo thing. Maybe I'll go back and we'll watch that. But this is his next run, and I believe this is his winning run. Now already I find very interesting that he has 3 favorites down there. It is Blaziken, Slacking, and Metagross. That's crazy. In Kaizo Ironmon, you do not ever have Slacking or Metagross as a favorite. You cannot ever catch those Pokemon. There's a rare chance that you could Evo into Metagross, but it doesn't really happen often, and there's no way of ever getting a Slacking. So that's like a very interesting difference to see already. Pokemon. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Gengar.
So already, right off the rip,
my favorite Pokemon.
He has a... Okay, this is very fun, actually. Right off the rip, he has a Metagross on the table, which is his favorite, so he's going to take it. Spoilers, because he took Metagross, his rival is going to take Dugong, which is poetic because his last run actually died to a Dugong. I think it was Agatha. She countered him, and that killed him. So it's kind of funny in a way that the rival then picks up the Dugong, but let's continue.
Hey, pussy boy Ludwig, when we turning out that thick Nicky and Yum.
We're not turning out Nick Yingin.
Yeah, he gets the Metagross. He was very happy about getting Metagross, it seemed. Now, Metagross is a huge Pokemon, honestly. It's massive BST, BSE being the base stat total, so it can just have more stats than a lesser BSC Mon, which gives it definitely a huge advantage.
Chunneled.
Skip past. Oh shit, I skipped way too much. Okay, well, he defeats Brock. There's a lot of things going on in his stream.
Quick Claw.
Okay, so he's in the forest getting his items. He's level 8, so he got level 8 in the lab.
We're gonna have
now in standard.
Uh-oh.
In standard, it don't press leaf blade.
Does actually just destroy us right now.
Shedinja does not destroy you. You have crunch. You can. It's fine. It's okay, Ludwig.
Oh, yeah.
You'll learn.
I knew that.
So yeah, to go over what Shedinja is, essentially that's a Pokemon that has Wonder Guard. That does not get randomized in Kaizo, I believe. Even in Standard, it's locked as Wonder Guard. I might be wrong there, but basically you need super effective coverage on Shedinja. So he has Crunch. That's super effective against Ghost, so he's good. But a lot of people do lose their runs to not having Shedinja coverage. It's a very common way to go. So I think right now he's looking for a Pokemon to faint so he can get experience. He takes it as Kaizo in a way where he only does the one Pokemon on the team. He's not looking to catch any further Pokemon. He's just going to try to complete it with Chunneled. I think that's how you pronounce his Pokemon's name. Challenge. So yeah, having a being able to be level 9 going into the first forest trainer is massive. A lot of the times when you fight the first forest trainer, you might not even be level 8. You might be level 6 because you might be like running a Mon from the lab that didn't get to level 8. It is pretty hard because typically the level gap is, you know, enough to kill you. But here he gets to go into the first forest fight level 9, which is a massive lead, already a huge easy comparison between Standard and Kaizo, because that's a luxury you don't really get to have in Kaizo. A lot of people die to this first forest trainer in Kaizo, mainly because that level gap, it's quite massive, and you do typically die.
Centric Crunch.
Once you defeat like the first forest trainer, for the most part, normally you're pretty good. I'm not gonna say you're guaranteed to get to Brock from here,
Zapdos.
But you do have like pretty good chances of getting there. That first forest trainer is usually hard to get through. He's pretty unlucky here. He's run into his Zapdos for the second trainer here. Pretty rough, but he should be fine.
Crunch. Let's go Wish. That's
so weird to me, using Wish. That is so weird. Because in Kaizo, you cannot use a healing move. That is usually, you know, absolutely banned.
Okay.
Let's see. His spread, I didn't really actually have a look at this Metagross. His spread isn't actually really even that good, honestly. This being 600 BSC Pokemon, it's already at a good like lead here. It has so much BSC that I don't think the spread really matters too much. But it's not as strong as it could be, you know? Usually in Kaizo, you try to look for a Pokemon that has like 3 times the special attack or attack to the level. So he's like a little bit behind on that. Otherwise, it's like a solid Pokemon. He's got good defenses. He's like relatively quick. He just has a lot of BSC, so like naturally he's gonna be pretty okay. But I wouldn't say this is like an optimal spread or anything. If this wasn't a 600 BSC Pokemon, this was a 500 BSC Pokemon, this would...
Is the music weird or is it...
I don't know if the 500 Eternal error is on his screen or my screen.
Overlay F? Oh.
Oh, it's him. I got on the video to check. I was like, what the fuck's going on with my computer? Fucking getting a virus watching Ludwig. I might actually skip through the forest. I think he's just gonna zoom through it and be absolutely fine here. 600 BSC is Not a joke.
We have
It's
an
you just clear the
opportunity
forest
to
with
beat
that.
Brock.
Ludwig, if you come to
This
Kaizo,
could be
no
our
more
first
metagrosses for you.
Successful run.
Oh shit, okay, wait, so I skipped through too much. So it looks like he had already gone to Brock's gym.
Could be
Brock
our
is such a
first
huge hurdle.
successful run.
In regular Kaizo, like 90% of
Since
runs die to
the
Brock. You have
death
limited healing, limited items, like
of Slacky.
your Pokemon might not be fantastic. He could have a team of legendaries. Here, Brock only has 2, which is very interesting
I'm
once
only a
again
level
because
17,
in
he does have a
Kaizo,
level 20.
the randomizer, the setting string is
But
changed,
my
and
chug
Brock
is
has 5
life.
Pokemon. So you have to get
Okay.
through 5 Pokemon with your 1 Pokemon. You may be hurt because you just fought the grunt in his gym. You might
First
not
we
have
do-
any healing items
Well, actually,
or
that's
status healing items because maybe you used it through the forest to get through the forest. So Brock is very hard. He's like the gatekeeper of Kaizo is how most people like to refer to Brock. You have to get through that gatekeeper in order to get on a run. Normally in Kaizo, if you do get through Brock,
First thing we do is crunch.
you're usually not 100% guaranteed, but I would say you're pretty guaranteed to be
easy.
on a good solid run. There won't be another like hurdle until you get
Crunch
to
again.
the next rival fight. So it's pretty smooth sailing up until that point for you. So yeah, Channel is just getting hit by ineffective Aeroblast
Crunch again.
and she's gonna win. Simple as that. I wouldn't expect any less from a Metagross to be able to defeat Brock.
We beat Brock.
So he just called it the
So
hardest
now-
challenge in the game, so he is aware of Kaizo. I believe
Obviously, there's always a way
he
to
must have watched like Kaizo itself before jumping into Ironmon. I do enjoy that he jumped into standard first, and I do hope that he pushes on in Ironmon and does Kaizo. I hope that's his plan, is to just keep building up on the challenge there. Because yeah, I wouldn't say, from watching this, I wouldn't say Brock would be a known hurdle in standard. I don't even think it'd be a known hurdle in ultimate, really. Maybe in ultimate. But like in standard, being able to leave the gym and heal, being able to run a Metagross, I wouldn't say that Brock would ever really be considered a hurdle to get through. I think that really becomes more prominent once you get to Kaizo. Now that rule set, like I mentioned earlier, Brock is absolutely a demon to get through.
But we
So yeah.
are
I also
relatively
noticed
safe.
while I was watching him go through the forest that he was making suboptimal plays, I would say, like crunching
For a little
ineffective
bit.
Pokemon, etc. The good thing with the tracker, which is the thing that he has in the corner over here, is it actually shows you when something is super effective or when something is not very effective. It's a massive resource. You really
Guns
should
as
utilize this
every
as
time
a
you start
Ironmon
a
player.
run,
It is such an amazing asset to this
you
challenge.
have to at least
But when you get into
try to
battles,
beat
you
your
can even
rival
make notes on what you think
if
the
you
assumed spread of Pokemon could be just
wipe
based off
out
your
at
encounter with
any
them,
point,
how much
you
damage you
reset,
do, how much damage they do, if they
and what
outspeed
makes
you,
it
etc.
hard is
Because even
so,
though
like,
it is random,
sometimes
you still can kind of add like
guarantee
logic to this challenge. You can use a calc to calc assumed damages. So yeah, using the tracker is very, very important. I wouldn't think it's as important in like the
Alright, let's save.
easier rule sets, but once you get to Kaizo, you really want to be making notes of every Pokemon that you encounter. Now, I might honestly just switch all the way over to his E4. Okay, holy shit, he's at the E4. I don't know how he got there that quickly. He must have flown there. He got there in like a millisecond. So let's see what happens. So E4 in Kaizo is the most horrifying place. It's so scary. Like, you have gone through your whole entire run. You have collected every single badge. You have fainted every single mon on every trainer. You've gone through all the gyms, all the dungeons. You have all your items up to this point. You know, you've had to make all of these hard decisions to get to this point. Having a look at his Pokemon, his Pokemon honestly is really underwhelming. Like I said, if this wasn't a 600 BSC Pokemon, don't think it would have made it here. I can see that he's learned Surf, which in Kaizo, once again, you do not get to learn AHM. That is only for AHM friends. It is very too strong of a move, and you do not get to have that on your main Pokemon. But despite that, he only has 265 spat. His base stat, I mean, his spat stat is very, very low. Like, it'd be like, what, sub 100? Like, maybe like 80 is his spat? I'd be interested to see what his Pokemon spread is. Hopefully he goes through it at the end. But yeah, overall, his Pokemon, I think, is very underwhelming in terms of its spread. I think a mon like this normally wouldn't get through an E4, but it is a Metagross. It has a bunch of other stats everywhere else, so it's probably going to be fine. He also has Morning Sun, so I'm sure he'll get through it. Oh, I showed his heal bag too. God, he has 1,061 heals in his bag. That is insane. He has such a crack healing bag. Wow, some E4s come down to like the kind of bag that you have. If you're like a subpar Pokemon, but you have a really good healing situation in your bag, you might be able to be carried through the E4 just with your heals alone. I've actually almost had that happen to me recently with a Crobat that I got to E4, but
wow,
I was one heal off of winning.
Okay.
Got very close, but just didn't quite do it myself, unfortunately. So he's got massive heals. He has 6 max potions.
When we hit level
that is crazy. I saw 6 max potions, 2 full restores in there. That is insane. That is massive. So yeah, he's holding on to his leftovers. He's level 98. That is... I don't understand how he's level 98. I probably should have like gone through his run a little bit better. I guess fighting like Pokemon and on the routes and whatnot. But normally, like, if you get to here, you'd be like level like 90. If you tried a full clear victory road, which most people wouldn't do, maybe you'd be like 92.
All right, guys.
If you get rare candies, you could maybe be like
51
you know, 90 to 92 at this point. But
Four.
98 is absurd. I'm assuming he like went through victory road and full cleared it. Since like dungeons aren't dungeons in this game, so you can just full clear everything in standard.
Right, so who do we fear? Salamence. Salamence is my biggest demon right now.
Okay, so he doesn't like Salamence, which makes sense. All he has is what, Crunch to use against Salamence. Once again, not the best moves on this Pokemon. Not the best spread on this Pokemon either. The lead really is important in any challenge.
We do not fear Ballossom.
Especially Kaizo. I'm not sure about standard. I would say that the same situation applies. Obviously, the lead is super incredibly important. You do not want to have he doesn't want the Salamence to come out first, right? You don't want a Pokemon to come out that has Parasong, because then it's just run over. He doesn't want to get like mirror coated here at the lead. Sandstream would be fine for him, but other Pokemon would not want Sandstream to be a lead, because you would just get Sandstream chip. You would lose your HP throughout the entirety of the battle, which is not fantastic in the E4 at all. So yeah, a Ballossom seems to be okay for him. I don't know anything about this Pokemon. Based off its moves down there, it doesn't seem to be that good. It does have Cotton Spore, which is very scary. I don't know if that Pokemon has Cotton Spore at this point, but essentially Cotton Spore, it makes your speed go down by 2 stages, and that is just like a death sentence in Kaizo. You do not ever want your speed to go down. If I were him, I'd be guard specking right now, honestly. A guard spec is an item that stops your stats from dropping. Even like without knowing if Ballossom has Cotton Spore or not, I would just assume it does. It is a stoner. A stoner means it is a Pokemon that evos from a stone, and stone Pokemon do not learn moves. So the tracker says moves 2 out of 2 down there. I would just be assuming here that it has Cotton Spore as one of its moves. And I would probably just honestly lead with a guard spec. You could always just like attack to like see if it has it or not. But in my opinion, losing 2 stages of speed is just like a death sentence. Like once you're slower, that's it for you, especially in the E4. So you could really benefit by putting a guard spec down.
We hit him with the
so he's not going to do that, obviously. He's just all power, all force.
KO.
He wants to one-hit KO it, which is fair, but it doesn't happen. Now, he got very lucky here. So, I don't know why he's surprised that he only did that much damage. No offense, Ludwig, but your Pokemon, even though it's a Metagross, it isn't that strong, and it doesn't have a stab move. So, his Pokemon would be way better if it had like Psychic or Extrasensory. It would be way more stronger, but he just doesn't have that stab, so he's kind of just lacking on power there. Now, he saw Cotton Spore. I don't know what he's thinking right now. I don't know if he's more shocked with the fact that he didn't even do half, or if he's like shocked that the Cotton Spore missed. But if I were him, if I saw that, I would be guard specking right now. Like, I would have guard spec yesterday at this point. You do not want that to hit you. Yeah, he's going on, but the one hit KO.
I was they were level 45.
So he can't remember what level he was when he last fought it. He's trying to think back to it. He is looking at the tracker. Oh, the last move it has is Blast Burn. So that could honestly... God. I don't completely fault him here for wanting to try to one-hit KO this. Obviously, he's a steel Pokemon. He probably doesn't want to get hit with Blast Burn. That being said, I still might guard spec here, honestly. His SPDF is massive. He's very, very tanky. Losing his speed for the rest of the team would really suck if it goes for it. But now I understand why he wants to one-hit KO it. Let's see how much damage it does. So it didn't do anything. Like I said, he's got good HP. He's got good SPDF. He is a complete unit of a Pokemon.
Okay, she didn't.
He got lucky though. He did not get Cotton Spored. So that is nice.
Appreciate you. All right.
That would have been super bad for him to be 2 speed down.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
Yeah, Leftovers is doing so much work here. You can't hold Leftovers in Kaizo. But he's almost back to full HP after that Blast Burn, which is insane. That was a crit. That is a very tanky Snorlax. So yeah, now his speed is going down regardless. Honestly, if this is smart AI, so when you get to E4, they are using the best move that they have normally. The reason why it's going for Rock Tomb isn't really even because it's the best move, but it's probably because it wants to get the speed down. It wants to be outspeeding his Pokemon. Once again, could be a really good point to have guard spec here just to try to
lower that special
negate the Rock Tombs that are probably going to keep happening. Yeah, so Rock Tomb just keeps coming.
Crits,
I don't know if he has a guard spec, but would have definitely been really good for him to have used it if he did have one. Honestly, with the amount of turns that's going by,
this is so unfun.
Garsec may have not really even helped him.
So
I think this could have been a good like Garspec and Dire Hit combo. Dire Hit is a item that makes your crit chances more often. This Snorlax is very tanky, so I feel like that could have been really good for him. Forgot he had Morning Sun. That is OP. That is so broken that you can run a healing move in Kaizo. You cannot do that. His 1000 heal bag doesn't even matter because he has a healing move. It's crazy. She shouldn't heal again. This isn't the A's. She should be saving her next last heal for probably her ace or her second last Pokemon.
I'm gonna use a 4-star.
There's like a whole like deep dive of the Fire Leaf Green AI. I've played a lot of Kaizo, so I feel like I have a decent understanding of the AI in Kaizo and Fire Red. I don't know it fully. I still have questions myself from time to time. But yeah, you can learn like their heal patterns when they're about to heal, like what kind of Pokemon they send out, what kind of moves they're going to prioritize, etc.
What is going on? Fuck!
He doesn't know what's going on.
I'm fucking hitting myself every time. End. I'm ending the stream. I'm ending the stream.
He's getting very angry, which is fair. I think if he were to do Kaizo,
so fucking annoying.
He would absolutely feel this a lot more. So he's getting very unlucky. He's hit himself in confusion many times. This thing just keeps teeter dancing him.
Horrible fucking game.
I definitely understand the frustration that he is experiencing. I've had moments like that when I've played Kaizo as well.
Giovanni,
he's losing it.
Won by fucking 1, dude. like it's the Kingsman, man. I want to sit there and watch it.
I wonder just based off of
King-size
his
bucket of
like
popcorn by
experience
my side.
of standard,
Express!
if he would try. Is he okay? I wonder if he would try Kaizo. I don't know if this is like a bit with him.
It's crazy, right? Random Pokemon. Every Pokemon.
I don't know
if
if this is like a bit with him, his reactions.
All of them. All of them.
But he's not ready for Kaizo if it isn't.
The convenience. If I'm Lorelei, I'll the stroke of luck.
So yeah, he's having no Okos here. He also has so far like no super effective moves really. All the mons that have come out have been like grass. He had Sceptile, Blossom, Shiftry, and then Snorlax, obviously. Yeah. He would have been very much better off had he dire hitted earlier. There you go. He has Leaf Blade that he can press on here.
Oh, you had a water type? One water type out of 6? Convenient. Oh my god, dude. Oh, dude.
He's having such a meltdown. He'd be so funny playing Kaizo, honestly. I don't know if he enjoyed playing standard, but I think just content-wise, it would be hilarious.
What do you think I've been doing?
He's getting mad at his chat.
I have been doing.
Wait, are they backseating him? They're backseating him. That's the worst feeling.
I went to Articuno's lair. What do you think I've been doing?
Get it out of your system, big guy.
Let's permaban that person. I'm not fucking kidding. You find them, you permaban them.
Yeah, I don't blame him. When it comes to doing any form of challenge content, you're gonna have people like that in your stream.
I don't think we have to use our elixir yet.
Ludwig, if and when you do Kaizo, be mentally and emotionally prepared for those people to tell you what you should or should not be doing. It's gonna happen. Me, what I'm doing right now. Ludwig, let me coach you. I'll coach you. You'll defeat Kaizo. Alright, so once you get to Bruno, it's normally like not smooth sailing, but typically once you get past Lorelei is like the Brock. A lot of people view Lorelei like the Brock of the E4. Not because of difficulty, but just for the sake of the fact that she's the first E4 member you see. She kind of sets the tone of the Elite Four. If you have a bad Lorelei, you get pretty worked up and stuff, and it's not super great. You get a little bit worried for the rest of the E4. Alright, he's got string shotted. He has like an unfortunate E4. Sandstream doesn't matter. For any other Pokemon, this would be a bad lead. You know, you got string shot, you got Sandstream. So you're losing your speed, you're losing your HP. But he's a steel Pokemon. Sandstream doesn't matter. One speed down probably won't matter too much for him. He's got pretty decent speed, I'm pretty sure.
Love to see that.
This actually isn't bad. He has crunch, so it's something. He's still quicker. It's something like Cotton Spore that's scary because it goes 2 speed down, 2 stages down. So he his reactions are hilarious. Once again, he doesn't have stab. Not that it matters here, but
what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Clamped.
Ludwig, no, you can click on the tracker. Do you not know? He's Googling what clamp is, which is fine. But a part of the one of the perks of the tracker is you can click on the moves and it'll tell you what the moves do, what their secondary effects are.
Spiderweb, what are you doing? You're spiderwebbing.
What are you doing? So spiderweb happens just randomly. Sometimes random AI just likes to click on silly moves like that for no reason in particular. Looks like Umbreon is a problem. He didn't seem very happy to see it. Do not crunch. Don't. What are you doing? Okay. Bide is pretty scary. Doesn't matter for him. He can get rid of that.
From the Bide, because the Bide would have been scary otherwise.
Yeah, he's right. Bide obviously is not a pleasant move.
Simple surf. Simple surf. Thank you. Thank you. Uh-oh. was worried about paralysis.
I don't think Shockwave paralyzes. I think Shockwave doesn't have para chance. I might be wrong though. So yeah, Bruno's done. Like I said, Bruno normally, in my experience, is way less shittier than Lorelei. Lorelei she's just always bad. Maybe because you're just nervous and it's the first E4 member that you see, so it feels worse.
We have a Lepa Berry.
Yeah, Bruno normally isn't nearly as bad.
That's
just on vibes alone. Agatha is, I would say, it's where it starts to get scary again, you know? Level gap is getting higher.
All right, we have a Lepa Berry. That's so big. I didn't know we had that.
Well, level gap is getting
fine.
Smaller. I mean, it's getting closer.
I don't think we need to use the Lepa on Crunch yet. I mean, yeah, I think I should be fine.
So he's already thinking about having his
PP.
PP. That's a correct thing to think about. At some point in E4, you do want to start considering on healing. So at this point, he could probably use a elixir on Agatha. Most people kind of try to like PP heal around now. Honestly, Agatha is like the PP healed person. Typically, you get your PP healed and then you go fight Lance.
Just got out of lab for the first time. If you want to
and then you're good for champ.
Dude. Okay, bro, I'm in the Super Bowl. You are telling me about a junior varsity football game. I'm in the Super Bowl. I'm in it.
He's such a character. He's such a character.
I knew I should have gotten more crunches, and I freaking knew it, man.
He'll be fine.
Fine.
He'll wanna PP heal on
Oko,
Agatha,
Oko,
definitely.
Oko. It's never Oko. It's never Oko.
Yeah, no, it's not. You're not gonna Oko anything, Ludwig. Your spa is just not high enough. That's a pretty strong Mr. Mime. That's like a 10% burn, by the way. That's pretty unlucky that the 90 accuracy move lands and also burns him. He is getting a little unlucky, I'll be honest. Like, this E4 hasn't really been the best for this Pokemon in particular. He is taking the moment now here. He knows that this is a Truant Snorlax. I mean, Blastoise. In fact, we saw this Blastoise in the forest, actually. And that's where he first saw it, and that it revealed it had Truant. He looks so scared. Wait, in this like pause frame, he looks so scared of the scary face. Anyways, this Blastoise could have Parasong. If it had led with Parasong, it would have been over for him. So I personally probably would have led with damaging the Blastoise first, knowing Channeled probably doesn't OHKO it with Leaf Blade, so he could have like tested out the waters, saw what was gonna happen, and then gone from there. Maybe did an elixir, did whatever he needed to do, and then just continued onwards. I think every single E4 member has had a speed dropping move, which honestly is very unfortunate. I wouldn't assume here that he has like 3 guard specs to have guard spec every single you know, speed drop. So I don't even really fault him for not having used a guard spec earlier. He might not even have one, honestly. Look in this bag. I haven't seen a guard spec yet. But yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. You really don't want to be -2 speed ever, but like working your way up, like Agatha, you might start seeing Pokemon outspeed you, depending on your speed stat. But it is a little bit concerning. So there's the loafing turn. I don't know anything about this Blastoise. I don't know if he's going to OHKO it or not. I don't know if it was tanky. Oh. What's he looking for? Could be a damage roll. Maybe he got a low roll. I've lost many runs to getting unfavorable damage rolls. Let's see. Yeah. So he had an unfavorable damage roll there. That would have been catastrophic if it had done Mirror Coat, but obviously it was Truant, so it didn't. Tube. I don't like tubular Pokemon.
Surf, surf, surf.
So he's still surfing. Isn't Drought still active? There's P-Song. There it is. He shouldn't have surfed. Not gonna hindsight him or anything. But this is what I was talking about. It's very interesting, however, that this Mon came out second. Not second. This Mon came out what? 4th? 5th? instead of coming out second. It must have really prioritized Blastoise coming out for its typing and probably its ability to drop his speed. If it didn't have that, this could have definitely maybe came out second and have used P-Song. So we got lucky that it came out now.
Fuck!
You definitely don't want to do Surf anymore.
You have to kill it.
At this point, does he want to crunch? Does he want to Leaf Blade? You go for Leaf Blade, high crit rate.
Leaf Blade with crit,
right?
right?
I'd probably go for Leaf Blade, honestly. Leaf Blade's his strongest move, isn't it? I do enjoy that he's thinking about using his X items. That is good. I haven't heard him talk about his X items at all yet. This must be the last Pokemon then. I lost track. I lost track of his Pokemon. I think he's fine. I think it kills from here. Oh, it's unfortunate. Please, Double Edge will take it out.
Yes! Yeah! Yes! Yeah!
He's going through all of the emotions. Oh yeah, leading with Surf was bad. He even said, he's like, Drought's active. My Surf is weaker.
Oh my.
Alright, here's Lance. Lance is pretty hard, honestly. You're now... Lance is the only thing between you and Champ, which is very nerve-wracking. In Kaizo at this point, normally Lance is probably going to be maybe outspeeding you. Depends on his Pokemon, but with the level gap being so small now, he's probably going to be quicker sometimes. He's going to be very tanky, strong.
Crunch is our best bet.
You start to really want to think about using any X items you have here, and obviously in Champ. Your priority is keeping your X items for Champ, but if you have a lot of X items, Lance is definitely one that you would like to use it on. So here, I would probably use an X speed on his first Pokemon, just to make sure that I'm going first against all the Pokemon. If you just have extra X items, you should just use them at this point. If he had used his X speed, if he had an extra one earlier, wouldn't have been sleeping right now. It doesn't matter too much though. You can use a Pokeflute. You can't use the Pokeflute in Kaizo. You don't have to get. You never need to get an Awakening in Standard. You just use your fucking Pokeflute. That's crazy. Oh my god, Pokeflute goes hard.
I'm gonna use Crunch.
No, you're not gonna use Crunch. You're gonna go back to bed.
Cringe.
Like, for this Pokemon, you still could definitely use your X speed if you had one. If you had an X speed, this Pokemon's not a threat. It doesn't have anything it can use against you. It hasn't hit you. I don't think it even has a damaging move. So yeah, he definitely could have had a workaround this. He would have needed an X speed though. If he didn't have that, then he probably just needs to ball stall, honestly. This is a point where you would probably try to ball stall Swagger and Spore. He could just use his Pokeflute too to like stall as well, but if in regular Kaizo this happens to you, just use your Pokeballs, get rid of their Swaggers. You don't need to like fight it out. You don't need to hit yourself to do that. Yeah, this Pokemon has not any moves. So this would be the perfect point to use any X items that you want.
No.
P-Song. So you can you can use Surf this time. No Drought. But that is scary. You could also go for Leaf Blade, try to get the crits. There's only one more Pokemon on Lance. That is a little bit scary.
I think it's totally worth
just in general, seeing this Pokemon is a bit scary. The fact that he's seen 2 Lanoons so far this E4 is very nerve-wracking. Seeing 2 Parasongmons in one E4 is definitely terrifying. Interesting that the AI keeps bringing out last. I guess it must be because it just has Double Edge as its next move, which doesn't do anything to Metagross.
Physical special based off of type.
So it must not be prioritizing bringing Lanoon out to use P-Song in that case. But most of the experience that I've had with P-Song is that typically the Mons come out second.
Let's see how much damage.
And they either use it or they don't use it.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
see, it's like a 50-50 if it uses it. It's like very... It's weighed not incredibly highly, I'm pretty sure, but it is enough to be...
Okay.
Like 50, like a coin flip, essentially. He got lucky there that it didn't go for it. So he just went in here ASAP. He didn't think about changing his item or anything.
No! I didn't know it started right away!
Yeah. I don't think he knew that. I think he forgot. He definitely could have, you know, taken a chance to like not go into battle, but that's understandable. I mean, if you don't remember that champ is an auto fight, then
Oh god.
so he could have considered setting up here.
I just genuinely, I promise to God.
So normally it's like the first Pokemon you'd want to set up on. A Murkrow Oko's pretty easily, but he could have, you know, used any of those X items that he was holding on to that he was talking about prior. He has a pretty good lead here, but in Kaizo, you want an X speed at minimum. If you get an X speed, you want to save that for the
But
champ.
I don't want to do it with the Pokemon.
You only have one.
That's gonna slow me down.
You hold on to that item. That is a very strong Poliwrath. Wow, I guess his defense isn't that bad. Isn't that good though?
We got a full restore off. That's huge.
Champ has like I think 4 full restores. He has a lot of healing items.
What's that?
Metronome is scary. Metronome could be anything. That is a little scary. Yeah, he had like the X defense and whatnot. He could have put that up on Murkrow.
That's so. And he's faster. I keep forgetting he's faster. Oh no.
Damn, Metronome in an Earthquake. Wait, that's insane. Better not crit. Crit would have been very close.
Can you imagine how much damage a crit would do?
Crit would have been so close. Wow, Metronoming, such a good move. That is so scary. But overall, I think he played it pretty well. I think I've seen a couple of like instances of him maybe not using like the most optimal move, etc. But overall, I think he's played pretty well.
Just see what he has.
Just minus like little small things. I really wish I could see his whole bag here. I just want to know what his X item situation is.
Suss out of what he has.
He's been thinking about things too, you know? He's been like thinking of certain things that could happen, how to approach something if something were to happen.
I think we go
so he's definitely... I think he definitely could do Kaizo. I think he'd have a lot of fun with that.
I think we tank one. I think we tank one more hit. It won't kill even with a crit. With
there's 2 X attacks. I saw an X special. The 2 X defense. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't really have many good X items. It's gonna do damage.
It's okay.
I keep talking about X items. That's how important they are in Kaizo. X items are so important, in fact, that in Super Kaizo they get banned.
That's fine. Defend on.
There, I like that he's doing it now. I think maybe he forgot. I think maybe like the battle auto starting might have caught him off guard.
Okay, that's fine.
I think he wasn't expecting to go into the chance room and to be thrown into the battle like instantly. So I think that may have caused him to play a little bit quicker. Ludwig, we're gonna have to work on your item management. Your bag is
you just use a heal
messy. This Mighty Yena has burned with Flamethrower twice now already. That's insane. It's hit him, what, 4 times? And it's burned half the times that it's gone for it. It's a 10% chance to burn. That's incredibly unlucky. Sorry, he didn't get more upset by it burning, honestly. I would have been fuming about that personally. Ooh, perfect. His best move is now even better.
We don't know what he has.
Just go for it. You can't do anything else. You have no X speeds. You've done all your setting up.
Did it?
This is the second last Pokemon. We have not seen the Ace yet. Ace is coming out last. Ace is the Dugong. Dugong is what ended his previous run, I am pretty sure. So now he gets to close the chapter here. If he can defeat this Dugong, He avenges his previously fallen
Pokemon
Slacking
that
and gets to
knocked
defeat
my
standard Kaizo,
Slacking
standard Ironmon.
not only out of the Elite Four, out of existence, is the final Pokemon of the final
last
trainer
one
of the Ironmon challenge. There's no way! It's his ace.
Has
His
no
level
HP.
95.
Nice.
Hey,
He avenges Slacking. Channel did it. He won. That was honestly, that was a tough E4. I feel like there were some instances of that E4 that sucked. 2 P-Song mons, a bunch of burns. He kept getting confused. A lot of speed drops. Like
52 hours.
he didn't
10
have
minutes.
really any X items. I don't think so. At least when I
Holy
looked through his
shit.
bag there. So he didn't have really any ways to like
attempts.
negate the speed drops to
Our
protect
final
himself
run took us
from
8 hours.
the
Our
drops from
champion Pokemon
happening. So
was
yeah, like
Metagross, who
overall, I
did what
think he
Slacking
did pretty
could
good. He had a
not,
really
and
good
we even
bag. He
ran
had really good
into-
heals.
dude, that
He had the
Parrish song where
resources. He
killed
used the
himself,
resources
like,
when he
I'm
needed
gonna
them,
replay
and
that
overall,
in
it was
my
pretty
head
good. So yeah,
for
I
years.
think it would be amazing.
That is right up there with Zoroark Flinch, if you guys remember that from Black.
I think it would be amazing if he did Kaizo. I would love to watch that. I would love to see him like grow as a Pokemon player. All right, so if you enjoyed that, consider subscribing if you watched the video. Otherwise, thank you for watching the video. You guys should definitely go check out Ludwig. Maybe he'll do Kaizo in the future. Who knows? It would be super awesome to see if he did that. Overall, good run. Challenging E4. He played it well. He played pretty quick, but I think he did pretty okay with what he had, with the bag that he had, with the Pokemon that he had. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!